Jeez. That's a good way to start a stream. Wrong pipe. Hello. Made some changes to the way the camera is. Hopefully it looks a little bit better. It's looking a little washed out. It still might a little bit. Turn the slide down. I think I need even more of an up-down angle, but took yesterday off from streaming. Hope everyone had a good Easter, if you celebrate. We are only 2 followers away from the next supporter pack, which is exciting. And clearly, I've been playing a lot. I need to blow my nose. Because my first character is level 98. I made that a little over a week ago. It's the first playthrough. My second character I made yesterday. Lvl85. It's already cleared all empowered timelines. I realized I probably should have gone to corruptions earlier, to be totally honest. But I was still, you know, still not used to the game in the sense that, like, I know all the limits. So it's really about, you know, testing it, seeing what can do what, how fast you can move through shit. This will probably be my last playthrough. I intend to beat Abberoth with this build. And then I'll be like, what else will I do? So this is the new one. Looks pretty dope. This is the old one. I stole his sword. See, you don't have a sword. Now she's got the sword. Also, as a side note, I got this controller. I finally got it to work. In the one stream I was trying to get it to work. This is a Game S7 Pro. GameSir S7 Pro. Because funnily enough, the Xbox controllers don't really work wirelessly with PCs, even though both are made by Microsoft. This does. It's also got like nice clicky buttons. Oh, I just actually started a game. But the one thing that drives me nuts is you can see like all the thumb dirt on the pads, and I don't know why. I clear it off every single day. It drives me nuts. And it's not easy to get off either. But I do really like the controller. Feels nice. I can plug my headphones, IEMs in directly to it. There's a little bit of hiss, but it's fucking amp for my head controller, so what do you expect? So this is the character. As you can see, it is a low life setup, which is my first run through. I wasn't even sure how it worked. I was a little scared when I first put on the stuff to make me low life, and I watched my health dot go down, and I was like, is it going to stop? Or do I need to do something else? Am I just going to die from this? You don't. It stops here. So let's talk about what this is. Probably start with the inventory, because that is the spot that makes the most sense when you're low life. Because obviously we did something to get there. So let's talk about that first. Architects of Astral Blood. Excuse me. Oh, actually, where did this build come from? I got it mostly from like Max Roll and looking at some other top players. A couple like the top builds, first people that made it to like level 100, stuff like that. And I kind of pieced together some things. I think the Max Roll one is pretty good. I think it's by like Bina QC. So this is mostly based on that. Obviously, I made like some changes based on my own preferences and what I think works and all that stuff. And some of it I'm just experimenting with. We'll see if I end up where he is. Same things. But this is, as the guide creator points out, this is the required item for this build to work. So I leveled up as a Falconer, which just seems like a pretty easy choice for leveling. And if I ever, well, most likely I'll play this game again in another season. And I'll probably start Falconer because you just get so much move speed, and you get a pet that clears for you and tanks for you, and like all these things. It's just like, it feels like, how could any other class be better as a league starter? Other than I think maybe Sentinel has some builds that might work for it, but I haven't played them yet. So level up as Falconer up until the point that I hit level 72 when I could equip this. I had already farmed up most of the rest of this gear on my Spellblade. So I was just able to throw it on. I leveled up pretty much with all Weaver's Will items, which, note, I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but if you level up with basically all Weaver's Will, they try to like cover each other's gaps. Like, one will cover your cold res, one will cover your fire res, and like one will cover your physical res. I was capped on reses by the time I was like level 55. And then it would give, I got like 78% crit chance increase. I think it responds to what you're playing for the build. I could be wrong. But that was the vibe I was getting, at least on this playthrough. I could have also gotten super, super lucky. Enough said about leveling. Well, actually, I did the aerial assault shit. It seems kind of bonkers how much damage that does early on. And it helps with mana. So that's why I was playing that one. But we'll talk about what this build is now. So with this, this puts you at low life constantly. It also gives you ward per second, obviously, based on your missing health. So one of the best defensive layers this build has is just by scaling max health. You get a higher stun avoidance, you get more survivability, more ward, all those things. So this is integral to the build. You cannot run this build without it, as far as I'm aware. Because what you do is you pair this with Death's Door, which when you're on low life, you take significantly less damage. You're always on low life. So, and you also do more damage, higher crit multi. So this, pretty much have to run this if you're going to go this build, because you'll see I don't really pay attention to what's going on the screen, because I can't. It moves fast. So you kind of need to be survivable enough that you don't need to worry about the content, to an extent at least. And I'm sure that changes later on, and I have some other things that for bossing you gotta do, things like that, but we'll get there. I'm running an Eye of Rain as the main sword. For a while I was doing 2 Trader's Tongues, but the Eye of Rain is just crazy crit multi on it. And I put mana, it was legendary potential, I put mana on it because this build was having mana issues that I'll fix with other tools later. But for right now, that was just an easy fix that I had. Should be fairly self-explanatory, that one. This one, sick helmet that you can equip at level 12. My damage went bonkers when I equipped this. 287% increased crit chance and a bunch of attributes. This is not only just great for leveling, this is also very good for this build. For obvious reasons, I would say. And I just threw a health on there because right now I'm on my, like, I would call it my starter swap gear, where it's all just like 1 LP, and I'm just putting anything useful I get. I'm just putting it on there. Trader's Tongue is helpful due to the critical strike chance. You kind of want to get the max roll on that, and then everything else is secondary. As you can see, this has +1 to dexterity skills. I would love to have +2. I have farmed like 7 of these. None of them have +2 and a +13% crit chance. So this is what I ended up at, out with a bottom tier roll on melee attack speed. But that's how important crit is. Talk about why in a second. Siphon of Anguish, fairly self-explanatory. Doom on hit, move speed, elemental resist. Self-explanatory to me. Still running this Weaver's Will ring, just because it had really good stats for me. And like, if I take it off, I'm under 100% crit chance. And under 75 lightning resist. So this is just like, also the health and the mana is really helpful, as well as the mana spin as ward. But this is kind of a stopgap until I get the legendary font of something or other, which I'll equip when I get that, because it gives more fire damage, which works with Irene. and it gives good resistances as well. I did get a Ring of Atlaria, which I'm excited about, but putting it on, I don't reach the break points yet, and a bunch of other reasons that it doesn't make sense for this build right now. Now, on a low life build, you do not want to gain health if you can avoid it. There are some nodes I have that give me health, which I would rather not, but need them for other reasons. But we do need to address this life leech from this ring. So, Boulder Fists. These are pretty nice, actually, because A, they stop the life leech, B, they give you survivability. Those are obvious. But what's actually surprised me about these is how often I'm stunning bosses with this. So there's a lot of mechanics that bosses will run that I don't even have to worry about because I just hit them and they're stunned. So they come out of it and nothing's happening. I will be working on getting experimental, the experimental ward as health or whatever thing for gloves. I'll be working on getting that on here, but I don't have the echo for it right now. But that's basically best in slot. And then if I can, I'll get like attack speed or something. These boots I had. Reason I'm using them is move speed, obviously. You need move speed on any boot you equip, but it also gives cooldown recovery speed for evade, which on this build, evade gives you haste. The prefix that has another 13% increased move speed, to me, these were my leveling boots. So I used Lessons of Metropolis at first, which were just nice. I had a 30% mod on those. They were legendary. Move super fast. These also, I have 2 prefixes for move speed on top of the normal move speed. So these were nice for leveling. What I would really, really like on these, and I'm working on farming another pair for, is cooldown recovery. That is, I'd say, once you get mana, enough mana to run this build, and you have everything else running, obviously, I would say cooldown recovery is your biggest gatekeeper to damage because you're regenerating your mana based on skill usage, but you're also dealing damage based on skill usage. So everything scales with cooldown recovery. You can just do more of everything. So cooldown recovery, anywhere you can get it, pretty much you want it. So I'm going to shoot for that on here. The other reason that this is run is the increased melee attack speed and the more melee damage to high health enemies. I don't know. I'm assuming there's other boots that might be better in slot. I don't know what those would be. So these are what I'm running right now. I did toy with the idea of Morning Frost, but I'm not 100% sure how that would work quite yet. And I don't have enough gear for that to work anyway. So that's what we have for now. Doppelganger's Mimicry. I'm using shadows. This felt like it was just best in slot. That's it. The belt should be switching to Strands of the Souls as soon as possible. This is a very good belt for this build. The problem is, as I was saying, the most important thing is your cooldown recovery. I can't beat the level 4 Chronomancer right now, so I can't get the stats onto this belt. So I will switch to this when I can, and I'll hope that I don't get that mana regen on them. But until that time, I'm using the cooldown recovery speed because that's the most important thing. Everything else, like literally that mod by itself beats every other mod on this belt. So that's just how good it is. Kind of need it. The move speed's nice from the other belt too. I'm not complaining about that. All right. So that will be switched to though. This is kind of a stopgap as well. I only hit the attribute for the critical strike. It would be nice to get to all the skills, which I intend to probably get to that point at some point. But this just fixed my resistances. It was better than the freaking, I call it the leveling Omnis. You get the Rift Beast that you've made, and it gives you 11% all resists or whatever. And move speed's fucking insane for leveling. It just wasn't, it felt shitty having the Rift Beast still, and I was like, there's gotta be something better. Crit chance makes me happy. Dexterity makes me happy. ward decay threshold, all that stuff's good. So this is what we're running right now. In all honesty, the other one might still be better, but I just didn't want to use it anymore. Passives. We'll just talk about the ones that are most important. Most important by far is this. This is what the build's basically made around. Low health, you take less damage, multiplicative with other modifiers, and you have additional crit multi. Additionally, that line just basically says it triggers when you get hit. So minus 24% damage at low health and plus 80% crit multi while at low health. You are always low health, but in reality, you have like 4,000 health because of the way that ward works. So you're just getting these benefits with really no downside. The other thing that is extremely pivotal about this build is all in. You need to at least be at 95% crit because this is just such a good node that you want to ignore the downsides of it. So plus 75% crit multiplier is pretty nuts. Less damage dealt by critical strikes and non-critical and less damage over time is the downside. That's why you want to get pretty much stay above 100% crit at all costs. If you need to, you can spec into this as well. I would really prefer not to. I'd rather do it on my gear. So that's where I'm at. Outside of that, there's not too much that's like super important about this other than you're running flow and rhythm, which is just important to know for how you play the build. But outside of that, these are all pretty, in my mind, standard nodes. I do run 5 in Raptor's Wings just because it was easy haste and more damage with haste, which I'm pretty much always hasted. And right now I'm working on this tree to get these concentration nodes. This is what gives me evade, haste, and that's about it on this tree. So that's how the build works. So I'm going to go ahead and it's already cleared all content except for Abberoth. So I did that in a day. And I was working on Souls or Spirits of Fire right now to get another pair of these Army of Skin boots. Let me just throw some of this shit that I have into my stash real quick. And then I'll run some of those maps so you can see how the build works. It's pretty fucking cool to watch. The first time I pressed the button with it, I was like, holy shit. Ooh, that's 2 legendary potential. Hell yeah. I am also happy I got this, a couple of those rings actually, because those are, this build is an endgame build for sure, but it's also, to me, it's kind of like a stopgap until a different build, which is like just ridiculous to gear up and make work. If this doesn't beat Uber Abberoth, which I'm assuming it will, I will be switching to that build. And when I say beat Uber Abberoth, I mean like I don't want to beat him because I'm good at the game. I want to beat him because I have a build that I just press the button now and it goes. So that's what I mean by beat Uber Abberoth, because I could have beaten him on my Spellblade, or at least regular Abberoth. I just think this will be faster to level a new character and get it to that point and beat Abberoth than it would have been to get that Spellblade to a point that it could beat Abberoth. So that's basically why I'm running this. Also, this build is way more fun. It's way more my style. The Spellblade, I always like Spellblades in these games as a concept. Rarely as a reality. They're not often very good. You usually have to do a bunch of stuff just to make them work. And then you're like kind of stuck into like a very clear spot where you can't abuse any broken shit in the game. The other big thing I look for in all my builds is I want to do damage while I'm moving. I don't want to have to move, do damage, move, do damage. I want to be able to do something like this. And all those are dead.
Not happening.
I gotta turn off this freaking not happening and get my loot filter back on. I've only played this on my Steam Deck so far, so I haven't gotten those set up. Oops, don't want to hang around tooltips. Do not want to hear her say not happening. And I want my loot filter. Much better. Now feeling good. So basically the way this works is you drop these shadows with synchronized strike. That's 4 shadows at once. Because of a node I took that gives me another max shadow. When those shadows die, they leave umbral blades. When I dash, the umbral blades pull to me. Umbral blades isn't on my bar. It's there for mana primarily, because they give me mana back. And a little bit of damage. The main damage comes from this right here, which I rarely trigger myself, because when I put down synchronized strike, all 4 of them do it. When I shift, all 4 of them do it, and I do it at the beginning and end of shift. Oh, apparently I already beat this map. Okay. See, that's what I mean by I want to be able to just move and clear the map. That's the first time I've stopped to like intentionally kill something, and I've already cleared it. So that's how those work. I'll keep going just to show like what it does in a simple manner. The Y, or I'm sorry, your shift button, shift, the skill, also gives me a bunch of mana and more when I'm at low life, which always at low life. So the real key is you want to be able to do this a bunch and then shift to get your... Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Feel free to ask questions too if you have any in chat. So really what you want to be able to do is put those down and spam them as much as you can, which is very mana hungry, but shift gives you your mana back. Now, cool thing, you can just hold both the buttons and it will use them on cooldown with left to right priority. So it will always use shift first and then synchronize strike after. So it'll prioritize shift so that you're always getting your mana. You can even go a little bit further and do these two and dancing blades to fill the gaps, but it gets a little hard to control if you do that. So I tend to like just tap it a bunch of times if I'm going that route. More often than not, I'm individually pressing what I want to use on cooldown. Only other thing that's really on the bar, oh, dancing strikes makes the arena, triggers your flow. It's each attack counts as a unique attack, believe it or not, from the node that I took, which increases your damage a ton, and it makes that arena like you just saw on the screen. I'll do it again. This arena makes you take less damage, makes you deal more damage. So you try to stay in it, but you could tell from how zippy this build is, it's not always possible. I mostly use it for bossing. And then you have decoy, which I just didn't know what else to put there. So the single target on this is pretty nuts. So that was 1.5 combos. And this is 100 corruption, I think. Yeah, it's 100 corruption. I mean, I could go higher. But you don't get too much more experience when you're under leveled like this in your zone. So I just haven't yet. I also haven't gotten Shades of Orbis to fight on this one. So there just hasn't been an opportunity to get the catch-up mechanic. Also, I just finished doing all the empowered shit, and getting the last attribute points from campaign like a couple hours ago, and then took a break. So yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy about this build. It's really fun to play. I have pretty clear next steps in order to improve it. Now the question is whether or not it's just gonna beat Abberoth without really trying too hard, because that's my goal. The other big thing was my Spellblade was not. It was not a fan of the Omen shit, which is the mechanic this league. So it's like, I didn't want to play it anymore, really, because I kind of, like, this was just brutal for it. It just didn't handle it well. And I still hadn't beat that, like, triple Omen Veil thing, where you activate all 3 in the Omen Veil. I could only do 1 at a time, or 2 at a time. And I was level 98. So, my goal with this one is, I'm pretty sure I should be able to handle that. We gotta get a little higher in corruption, get some more levels, a couple more items and stuff. Because technically, I've just started being able to equip the items I'm using. So we'll do that, and then we'll try the Omen thing as well. Looking for a lot of just affixes on Exalteds right now, because, like, well, actually, the main thing I'm looking for is the Army of Skin Boots with 1 LP. Because I would really, really like to get cooldown reduction on them. The movement speed doesn't matter as much now, just because I zoom so much. Although I do get damage from movement speed, which is pretty cool. Is this arena? Yeah. The other thing I want to do with this build is, I don't know that I'm going to push rank 1 arena, but I'm gonna push pretty high. Just haven't figured out how high yet I can go with this. It's technically not the greatest arena build, but I think it can do pretty well. So I think top 100 is almost a shoo-in. If I play it enough to get there. And top 10 is a potential. I was already top 300 for a little bit on the Spellblade, and I only tried it twice, so. We'll just fight the boss. Just because, why not? Gives us more of the robust size or whatever. So that's kind of the nice thing about this is they didn't even get to do anything. I didn't kill that one. Best defense is good offense. I didn't even use my dancing strikes. I'll use it on this guy, but boom, Harbinger. Nah, we'll keep this. Defense is good. So yeah, it's pretty strong. If you've ever been on this channel before, when I was playing on my my Spellblade against the first few Harbingers on my first playthrough, you would know that this is a very different experience from that. I legitimately thought like I was gonna have to be like pixel perfect for the whole game in order to beat all the bosses, which on my Spellblade I basically did. So I only beat bosses on my Spellblade when I was pixel perfect for a good 5 minutes straight. Couldn't get hit at all, and had to be DPSing as best as I could pretty much the entire time. And then I could get 4 minutes 30 seconds in, and if the boss hit me, I was fucking done. It was brutal. Eventually, I figured out some build changes for it. But, you know, it's not a great experience in general for me. So, this is definitely a vast improvement. It's also much more my playstyle. So, like I was saying, I usually like the idea of spell blades in content. In games like this, and they're rarely actually great to play, just because in order to execute on the Spellblade fantasy, you are already trying to get spellcasting and melee attacking happening at the same time. So just to do that, you're spending most of your, passive points and equipment and all that shit. You don't get much tankiness. Really, you're not gonna beat a rogue or assassin in damage, because they don't care if they're casting or what. So it's nice for like the fantasy of it, I think, is what I like. And I'll probably always try to play it in hopes that one of them will be good, like Echo is. Echo's the fucking shit in League of Legends. I actually have his little statue up there. It's not in camera right now. But, yeah, so I usually end up playing like this kind of stuff, a rogue, or something control-y. When I was younger, I played a lot of tanks. Just not my style anymore, the tanky people. I like to feel a little on edge. Like at any time if I fuck up, it's gonna be bad. Or the build would usually feel like that, but I've made it so that it's so good that it doesn't feel like that, like this one does. So that's kind of my style now. Usually I don't really care for these maps when I'm not farming them, but I want to do both those boots, so. That's probably the coolest thing I found about this game is the COF mechanics, where you can just target farm shit. I've never really played a game that did that as well as this does, and made it not feel like it was cheap. It's hard to explain, but I'm a fan of it. There's a few things this game does really, really well. I'm not sure that it's going to be in my my top ARPGs list when I'm done with it, but it does some things better than any other games I've seen, for sure. The loot filter is probably the biggest one. And the COF is probably Circle of Fortune, if you're not familiar. It's probably the other one. It just makes the experience of finding, like, targeting the loot that you want and, like, not seeing shit that you don't really care about. It just makes it so much more feasible to actually do. I don't know that I would even like this game if it was, if I was playing the Merchant's Guild. Because that's what PoE does so well, right? Is the live economy shit. I didn't even do the combo right there. I don't know why. But with this game, like, it would take away the two best things about it. Because you would be just looting for whatever was valuable, right? Like PoE. And then you would be not getting any way to control your drops, really, other than the spots that you were farming. And there goes the loot filters and the COF's value. So, those being my two favorite things about the game, I'm not sure I would like it otherwise. The combat's pretty cool too. Honestly, I don't think it really comes online until the end game for some reason. I don't know how to explain it, but where PoE has like different phases that feel good in different ways, but aren't the same. This feels like it just has like the combat early is just fine, and then late game it's got like its own distinct style that's pretty enjoyable. I have to do this fucking cemetery. That's right. But see, this was nice about this build. I can do this completely on autopilot and clear, I'm assuming probably up to 400 corruption without even paying attention to what I'm doing. That could be a lofty goal. I don't know. But once you get the like mechanics of it down and you have some skill memory or muscle memory, really not that much you need to do. I've only died twice. Once was like super early game because I was trying to equip something that I picked up. And the other time was to the Chronomancer. And then I just gave up. Because I am not a persistent person with this right now. If I really needed it, I would do it. But I had just done it 4 times. No, let me over this. Let me out. Let me out. What the hell? That's the first. But yeah, I had just killed her 4 times at lower levels to get other stuff. I was like, it doesn't really matter. And clearly, I don't really need more equipment right now. It's more the maps that are my...
Too easy.
Stop with my obstacle. That's what the word is. My obstacle to progression. I did take both the annoying guys that fight with you. Just because I was doing maps at level 54, I think. And any help was nice. So that's why I have them. I'll eventually respec my Weaver tree. When will that be? Who knows? But because I just don't. It's like it's fine, the tree, but it doesn't feel like the most impactful thing. One day I will find the Woven Firstborn. By the way, I do read chat. You don't have to chat if you don't want to, but if you wanted to chat, feel free to shoot a message in there. I'm always down. I'm also cool. I'm very good at rambling, so I could do this for forever. Not forever, but longer than most people would appreciate if they weren't watching a stream. Which makes this a pretty good option for me to get that out of my system. Let me see if I have... Can't do a Confluence of Oblivion, but there was... What's the one that does the... Exiled Mages? Because I want to get this on... I want to get my gloves made, but... I don't know what the name of the Exile Mage one is. And that's the one that lets you do experimental... affixes on whatever you want. I think it's this one. It's the only one I don't have. Let's enchant some of these. I don't even know which ones I'm going to enchant, but that's fine. I have them. Already set. I can't use that one. Where's my freaking rogue ones? What do we get? I don't use a bow. What do we get? I don't use frostbite. It's got Weaver's Touch. Could be nice. Most likely not. If I was certain that I could go to that woven place and get the echo that I need, I would go do it. But I don't even know if he carries it right now. And I'm not really dying, so it's not like super important to me. The nice thing about that is I actually can just get, excuse me, literally any pair of Exalted Gloves that have an open Athics. Or I think I might even be able to get any pair of Exalted Gloves, because I think you might be able to just remove an Athics. But with 1 LP on my Boulder Fists until I get better ones, that's literally the only thing I care about. So. And I am going to full clear this map because I want these boots. And this is the timeline that drops them. Almost. There we are. Boots. Oh. Ah, I got excited. They look the same. Disappointing. Sorry. Slay both patrolling Imperial Watchers. There's another map where it's a boots map. And I have a bunch of prophecies for these boots. So I'm really hopeful. Oh, these guys are kind of cool. They look like Cubone. The patrolling ones drive me nuts. Especially, I'm like super fucking fast. And I have dashes and shit. And sometimes they're faster than me. And then it's like one of those guys. And I'm like, how the fuck were you moving that fast? They're probably screen sniping, is my guess, but. Need more evidence before I accuse them. A little bit more for these boots. Okay. It's like a 1 in 22 chance to get these boots. I've done like 50 of these maps with the boots on them. And I just can't. I can't drop them. I don't even know where I got the ones I'm wearing. I've had them, I think, since like before I knew what any of the items were. They were just like a unique drop, so I kept them. Or they had 1 LP. It was like one of my first 1 LPs. But I have not seen them since. I've checked my loot filter like 7 or 8 times to make sure that they're not blocked off from it. Because they're just not dropping. So watch, we're gonna go for these two. Oh shit! There was a echo of a world or wherever. Well, I wanted to do the boots first anyway. I'm a big fan of arenas for early leveling because you can take the nodes that makes them have less waves and then make them more common. And in order to complete Dorita, you naturally slay all the enemies, so you get all 3 bonus levels of the map, which helps with timeline stability quite a bit. You don't get like nemesis encounters and things like that, which is not great. But I don't generally have an issue finding like good enough equipment, and I don't see the nemesis mechanic as powerful as other people have described it as. It's fine. You definitely want to do it sometimes, but I feel like you only really want to do it if you have a very specific reason to do it. Other than like your first character, if you're just trying to get, like, you don't even have the items that you're using yet, you're just using shit off the ground, and you still can get upgrades that way, like, then they're really, really good. But outside that, I actually think the Omen's better. And you get more experience from it. And you also get the altars and stuff from the Omen, which is, it's like somewhat helpful. It's just a lot. Like, I don't like the mechanic. It's just a lot to maintain, but it's like helpful to max out your resistances and shit. Where I don't like it is where you like have to min-max it and play Tetris. It's fine though, but that difference is you get corrupted items, which tend to be pretty good, from Omen, and you get altars from the Omen, and you get idols from the Omen, and you get shards from the Omen and runes of corruption. Whereas Nemesis, you just, like, before you have the thing where they have the egg that you can put stuff in, you're just like hoping they drop something good out of the 4 items that they have. They do give a good amount of shards though as well. All right, let's go grab. Ah, this led me to one anyway. Nice. I can tell I wanted it. Developers being nice. Slay the Imperial, or patrolling Imperial Watcher. They love bees in this game. It's very interesting to me. Another thing to note with this build is you actually generally want to avoid the health potions and using health potions on the ground and using health potions. I will demonstrate it when I'm in camp, which I can actually do right now. So I've tried to like see different ways this might work. There's only time that using a health potion really makes sense is if you have something that lets you cleanse, or if you can convert a lot of your health to ward for the potions, which I do intend to like try to get that on a 4LP if I ever get 4LP stuff, a 4LP belt. But watch what happens to my ward. So you can see my ward sits at like 3,800 and my life is like 100. Well, if I pop a health potion, the ward starts dropping pretty quick. And that's your main defensive layer, is the ward. So you're basically like, you cuck yourself from the ward. It's like, okay, I just gained 800 health, but I lost 400 ward, not counting all the ward that's being lost and gained in that meantime, right? Because it's battling to stay up. So you're probably losing more health than you're gaining when you use a potion. The only time it would make sense is if you're like super, super low and your ward went away and then you got to pop it quick, but I doubt I'm ever going to be fast enough to do that. Where's that? Oh, that doesn't have a thing. Okay. Usually they have something at 5. But I guess that one's just strong already. Alright, Aerobus. 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 We get. Oh, he's not. We're not even corrupt enough to get the amulet. I have so many of these rings now. It's kind of insane. I intend to use them to re-roll the stats of other ones at some point, but I actually might have to like take them off my loot filter eventually, because there's just I get like 2 every time I do Urbis. What? No, I didn't want to do that. I want this. Okay, clear enough. All right, let's see how this works. This is now going to be my highest corruption I've done with this build. So, what is there any boots? Boots. No. Okay, experience then.
It will shatter around you. He has watched you die.
Seems like it's handling pretty well to me. So you can see my health going up when I'm fighting. That is not from the leech. That's actually from, oh. See, I had to use a health potion there because I got low on my ward. Which that's actually the first time I've done that. Successfully. Oh, oops. I thought he was dead. What are these? No, I don't even know why I have those on my filter. Probably because I haven't gotten them yet. Ooh, what helmet? Nice! Fuck yeah. Kuzan's Guys is a set piece that there's a Shadowrend build I was thinking about running. And I have most of the other pieces for it. Because you use Doppelganger's Guys, Doppelganger's Mimicry, Kuzan's Guys, some other things. And that's the one I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was talking about. Excuse me. We'll just get this next book. I was talking about, like, this might be a stepping stone to an even stronger build. But that build just is like pretty hard to gear. That's the build I was talking about. Now that build, my hope is that I don't even like this build's fun because I clear everything on my way to the destination, right? That build, I should be able to clear everything in a way that I don't even see anything on my screen ever. Why is this guy not dying? See how this works in a corrupted map if I just hold the buttons down and let her do her thing. Do I kill everything? Almost. Oh, I'm sorry. Shadow Cascade build. Which is also what this build is. Did I say Shadowrend on the thing? Whoops. I always get this mixed up. Oh well. But they're both Shadow Cascade builds. That one was just like a spicier version of it that's all like fire damage and shit. So yeah, that's why you want this build, this helmet, because it does +2 to Shadow Cascade. You're hoping for +4, obviously. It gives you increased health. It gives you all these things that are like just useful, but then you also convert Shadow Cascade to fire damage, and you get blind on fire hit, which is another defensive layer. It also reduces their dodge chance. So it's really fucking good. And then you use the like low level fire starter torch, whatever unique. It's pretty fucking strong. I think. We'll go this way to hopefully get a unique item. That's a boot from one of those other two. We'll get Keystone. Where I gotta go? Slay both champions.
He has watched you die.
That's a really creepy line. Like Delirium in PoE has some creepy lines, which I like. He has watched you die is a really creepy line. Like on another level. Like like it actually makes me pretty uncomfortable. Which props to them. That's what they're going for, I'm sure. Oh, it's done. Man, I'm pissed I called it Shadowrend on the title. I'm a dummy. Ruin prisons and slay the exalted mages. Exile mages. Am I going the right way? Where's the other guy? So yeah, this build's just super zoomy. I really like it. Like, everything is basically gives me haste. Like on hit, or when I dodge, or if I'm just dashing. I'm actually working on making this dash range significantly shorter. Because it's great for, like, that, right? For just navigating maps. Where it's awful is, like, this. It's so hard to control. If I'm fighting a boss, like if I fight the one with Heorot, where the Harbinger makes the ice around you, that's like, you have like this much room to move. It's a pain in the ass to dash and then like have to like super fast get back into the safe zone. Pain in the fucking butt. This is actually good timing. This is actually the torch I was talking about. So it does spreading flames. So it spreads between the enemies on top of your Shadow Cascade. You already see the clear on this, but oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. This spreads, goddamn, because it makes it fire damage and all that. This spreads. You know what? I'm just gonna give up on. We're gonna put it in my inventory, and we're gonna look at it there. And it spreads the fire damage between enemies. So you basically, that clear range that you're seeing on my screen, you basically maintain that. And then you add an extra layer of your spreading flames to everything around it. Those enemies now take more damage. You do more fire damage over time. It also makes Shadow Cascade a fire spell, which this reduces its mana cost. Gives you move speed. And then you also blind them. 100% chance on hit. So that's a defensive layer. So most likely I'll end up equipping this over this. Put on a Kuzan's Guise, Doppelganger's Mimicry, and a couple other things. But I do need an Omnis for it to work, as far as I can tell. Just because the resist, I don't know how to fix the resistances without it. So we'll put that in. Now let me just sell these other useless uniques. Actually, this is like a really good leveling weapon if I make a Sentinel.
Take care.
So we'll put that in here. Those I might use. We'll open this. Stormbreaker. Oh yeah, I kept this because this looks like it could be useful for like a Rune Warden or whatever that class is. Rune Mage. Rune Spellman. Ooh, what's this? Increase cooldown recovery speed. I don't say. We're gonna hold on to that for now. I'm not gonna go through the painful task of equipping it quite yet and moving all these around, but I am excited that I got that. Assuming I don't, the like Weaver's Will, so you could only have 2 Weaver's Will or 2 Weaver's idols in there. Which tend to be pretty powerful. So as long as that doesn't end up outweighing the cooldown reduction in the other stats, it should be fine. What do I need though? Oh, cemetery. It's not over there. Oh. Hello, friends. Oh, I see the dot flashing.
Witness.
I don't want to witness Omen. Come back another day. Yeah, but you can see once you get this rhythm down, it's pretty fucking smooth. I mean, we'll just ignore that guy. Now imagine more cooldown reduction. Because you can see I'm limited by how often my shift is up, specifically. That would also increase how quickly I traverse maps. The hell? I didn't mean to do that. I just want to pick this stuff up. Sure. What do you mean? Ooh. That's pretty good. We like that one. That one didn't really get any better. This one, though. I don't get much better than that. I don't think. Been playing this game for like a week, I don't know. What's next? Boots? Boss. Boss. Don't run from me. It burns. Oh, I forgot to level up. Oh yeah.
Abberoth will end you.
What's this? Might be helpful for that fire build I was talking about, but I doubt it. I have a feeling I want to already be crit maxed, but this is the one, I know it. I'm gonna get the boot. Oh, I should put my level in. Very impactful, 2% more concentration. Totally gonna feel it. My skills level up? No. I don't think my skills level up anymore. I think I need to get skill affix shards. What's this? Ooh, nice, 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 nice. Hold on, I want to look at that. Fuck yeah, this could be really good. I wish it was a tier 7 cooldown and a tier 4 ward gain on potion use with the cleanse. But this would let me get rid of a bunch of bullshit in my build. Like I took a node that cleanses all ailments on shift, on use of shift. But to get to that, you have to take a node that makes your distance go further, which I don't like for this specific build. And increases your cooldown. So pretty brutal. It's actually like I constantly debate taking it off so I can get 3 points back, 2 of which are giving me things that are actively bad for my build. But that one is just so good. It's still probably worth it because I'm constantly shifting, so I basically never have ailments on me. Whereas I almost never use potions. I'd have to like remember to use the potion because I have an ailment on me. Which, you may not know me that well, but the chances are low. I need to kill some more, come on. Yeah. Level 3, come on. You get it. Okay. Boom. That's done. No fucking boots, though. I just want my boots. What level am I? E7. That's so much to ask. I just want these fucking 1 in 22 chance to drop boots. They're not even rare. Every time I get one of these guys in my maps with me, I immediately regret it. I really should just change it, but too lazy. Rather just keep zooming. You know, something I find interesting about this game is it seems like pretty much everyone that's streaming it is not a native English speaker. But nothing wrong with that. It's just interesting that it's like, I guess maybe not a lot of English speaking people play this game or care about it enough to watch a stream of it or want to stream it. I don't know. But every time I look, I'm the only English-speaking player. I mean, sometimes you get people that speak English, obviously, and they speak it well enough. But you can tell, like, it's not their first language. Or they're, like, in a different country and clearly state that they're living in a different country that they're streaming from. Just interesting as an American that's very used to everything being centralized on Americans. It's very interesting for it to be more globalized like that. And it makes me wonder, like, what that... I think it's because it's written... It's, like, clearly written in another language first or something. So maybe for English speakers, it's a little off-putting, or just not the culture that we look for. But yeah. And the boots. Boots. We go to the boots. It's a very simple strategy that has not paid off at all. But there's literally nothing else I can do. I have every boot prophecy in the game. Well, I re-rolled until I spent all of my favor, and I've only bought boots prophecies. I actually think I've probably cleared through most of them already. And it just hasn't dropped. Which is what it is. Those daggers I have on the filter because I have an idea for a Spellblade build with them. I've got like a Shatter Strike bleed concept for Spellblade that I'm toying with whether or not it's worth actually building or not. But if I can get the pieces, it's easy enough to respec in this game, which is also another thing I like about this game a lot. But it's easy enough to respec in this game that it's like, I'll try it if I have the stuff. So I just put it on the filter. Maybe I accidentally farm all of it. But the concept is to go really high armor and use that like primordial amulet that converts your resistances to like take damage as if they were physical. Go a ton of armor, convert a lot of your dot damage to be able to be mitigated by armor. Run Shatter Strike with the bleed thing on you, the bloody nib, which you should use anyway if you're doing Shatter Strike. But then there's other things as well that work with bleed off of Shatter Strike on enemies. You run the Jormun's Feast sword, whichever one, Jormun's sword. More crit multi on bleeding opponents up to 7% per stack up to 200 stacks, I think it is. So yeah, basically you just, the reason that you need to run the dot mitigation is A, it's just good to do that. That's a very useful affix in general, if you have a lot of armor. But B, you could spec even more into just armor because you don't have to worry about 3 of your resistances. And C, everything that you do that improves your bleeds will also make your bleeds do more damage to you. So you need some way to mitigate that downside. So yeah. Okay. Morning Frost. Fucking Stormtide. Were they 2 LP? Is that why they showed it to me? Oh. No, I didn't want to equip them. So I have this dagger I have on because, well, actually this is for another build that I've considered. Where on Shatter Strike you can make it cast Frostclaw, and you can also cast Frostclaw on Retaliation. And then you can turn Lightning Blast into a cold spell. And because you don't have to spec into your other resistances with that amulet, you can spec a lot into your cold and lightning resistance, which increases the critical strike chances on them. And And then you just got to make sure your Frost Claw is critting enough. But this also gives you a bunch of resistances as well. And more crit multi. And melee damage and spell damage. So it's like... It's pretty good for that if you can make it work. Problem is, once again, to make a Spellblade work, you're just speccing into so many things just to get the basics rolling. You don't have a lot of room for optimization. Whereas this feels like, you know, this could work in a bunch of ways. The way this is working right now, it broke the game, is what it feels like, right? You just don't get that feeling on Spellblade. I think Rune Master is the only mage class worth playing for reasons other than you just want to play it, right? If you just want to play, go for it. That's why I went Spellblade to begin with. And I'll probably always mess with Spellblade. But I don't think that it's one of the better specializations by any means. I also don't think Sorcerer is that good. But I haven't tried it, so. To me, the Rune one, just like, if you read it and see the skills are just so good. You're like, clearly this is a strong one. And the leaderboards tend to reflect that, I believe. Because if you go into Arena, yeah, number one guy's Rune Master, first off. If you go to Mage class, it's 3 before you get to a Spellblade, and there's only 2 Spellblades in the top 10 of the mages. Sorcerer's number 1, apparently. Which I don't understand. Oh, no, because these guys are here. So Rune Master, Sorcerer, Rune Master, Spellblade, Rune Master, Spellblade, Rune Master. I think it's pretty clear what the best class is. At least for Arena, right? Because they got a little bit more area control. Spellblade doesn't really do that well with area control type stuff. They're pretty weak in Arena, just based on their kind of class. But even if you look at who got to level 100 first, there's number 1 person's a Spellblade, which is cool. It's actually very similar to the build I played to level up. But then everyone else is not a Spellblade. And how long does it take for you to find one that's a Spellblade? Yeah, you have to go... You have to scroll down for the next Spellblade. The rank like 148. So this guy fucking killed it. He beat everyone else. I don't know how people get to level 100 in a day. These guys did it in a day. Nuts to me. Do I care about these beacons? I forget. I don't think so. Ooh, Arena. Come on, monsters. Come on. There we go. Build reminds me a lot of playing Zed, which I wouldn't be surprised if it was an inspiration for it. It's like if Zed was unkillable defensively, not just because he popped you as soon as he went in. Really, Raven? You're gonna do this to me? Thank you. Give me the XP. What is this? Oh, I've done one of those before. I've just never seen it. Not as an echo. Oh, with an echo. Where's the beacon at? Ooh, want that. Ah, over here. You ever sit in the middle of playing a game and then realize you have to change your bed sheets in the near future because they've been on there for too long? Or is that just me? This is that good content. You can use that line on a girl. Promise you. And if it doesn't work, it's your delivery that you need to work on. Because that line, infallible. Why do I have another one of these? Are these the same thing? Huh. So we don't get any boosts if we go that way. What's this? Oh, it's the same fucking thing. We get 2 boots this way.
The silence wakes.
Slay enemies to locate Ashgate. Okay.
They won't forget that one.
Dude, this room gets kind of hot. With the door shut and the PC running. And me being a sweaty gamer. Even though it's only like 50 degrees outside. Should not be this hot. You know, we don't mind some daggers, so we'll clear the rest of this one. Can we get there? There we go. Oops. Path towards the boot nodes so that we can be disappointed when we don't get the very common unique boots. that we are searching for. Give me that. Slay enemies, locate Savage Gate, then seal Savage Gate. Okay. We don't care about armor at all. So we're just gonna bust through this. Where are we going? Tell me I still haven't found it? The fuck is this shit? See, it's the game punishing me for saying I wasn't going to do the content and I was just going to push through it. That's what it... Ah, ambush. I do think that's pretty cool how I do this, where it's like, they'll give you a fake goal that clearly isn't on the map, and they let you go long enough that you're like, what the fuck? Where is this? And then they ambush you. It's pretty cool. When they don't tell you that's the, like, you gotta touch the shrines until you get ambushed, and they just, like, trick you. Pretty dope. Got me the first few times. And that time, obviously. Ah. Mana efficiency. Oh my god. I wish that was on a helmet, though. Because it's just very hard to get multiple LP on that. I assume, actually. I don't actually know. But it's not cheap to farm, so. Alright. We're leveled up. That's good. Now we have more concentration, which is theoretically 2% more damage. If we haven't been hit by anyone nearby recently. Which, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure it's most of the time. I don't know how to see if I have concentration or not. I'm trying to watch the bar at the bottom. Oh, I don't have concentration by default yet. That's right. It's the next node. I don't even really know how I get concentration yet. And we do, once again, want to clear until we get to the third bonus on this, because spooks, which is actively what we were searching for in this timeline. So I always rush to the main objective, because why not? Well, I don't rush to it, but like I try to find it first and I just clear what I can on the way. And then if I miss it, or I don't clear enough, then I just go around and do some more. I find it hard to believe there's many faster builds in this, though. Like, I've watched some other people play, and like, yeah, it looks strong. But do they be zooming, though? I don't think they do. Intruder. All right, almost there. I agree, Rogue Lady. That looks like Ellen DeGeneres. Did I level up again? I forget. No, I just did that. No boots. I swear to God I have them on my loot filter. Activate shrines to lure out the ambush. See, this one, I feel like it's fine as an objective. It's also a really good map for if you get like the EXP things early on, the EXP bonuses, because you get a lot of shrines, a lot of mobs. Even if you don't, I usually just like try to clear as much as I can. That makes sense early on because you get a bunch of shrines that make it super fast. Almost to the boots. That will never show up. See. Fucking 2 of them. Let's go. Let's go. What are our stats? No LP, no LP. Bro. Are the stats at least good? Kind of. And kind of. That doesn't make me happy. Well, it makes me happy that I got the fucking boots. That's important. Actually, these should go into... Oh, do I have those boots here? Yeah, these are my increased cooldown recovery boots that I'm gonna put onto these once I get some fucking LP on it from a Nemesis now. If I get an LP on it from a Nemesis. If. He might just add, like... 2 strength. Some bullshit. Does he ever do more than one? I don't know if he does. All right, now we'll kill the boss. Because we only, well, I mean, getting more of these boots would be nice, but probably what I'll start doing is just pushing corruption on this map now. For this timeline. Alright, Fatso. Come on, come over here. Come over here, boy. Here, boy. Come on. Good boy. Nothing fun. So now we just want this to get timeline more corrupted because I don't have a highly corrupted timeline on this character, and I think timelines are based on character and not count. I don't know though, but we're just gonna keep going further because you're more likely to get Echo of a World the further out you go. And then the nice thing is I have 4 Gaze of Oribus or whatever, which should increase how much corruption I get when I do kill one. If I kill it on the first try. So now we're also looking for Nemesis. Are important for those boots. But other than that, I don't really care about any of the side content right now. Yeah, please. Let's fucking go. Man, all the luck just started coming at once. That's a +4 Shadow Cascade. That's a pretty good roll. It's also a pretty good roll. Next time I fight a boss, I should probably use a needle. Maybe we can get actually good rolled boots
Silence wakes.
with LP. Maybe. Maybe it's possible. What level am I again? I keep forgetting. I'm 88. Which one's the one that gives me concentration? Yeah. So I have it inherently, but I don't... Is this it? No. 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 I guess it's just... It doesn't tell me if it's on. Because, like, I'm trying to look to see if it gets broken. Is that it? Okay. Just tells me when I don't have it. Which is odd. Because I see that bottom spot as like my buffs. I mean, I'm not really going. It's on cooldown sometimes. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, a follow would be great. I can't subscribe yet. I don't have that. But follow would be great. Helps this channel a lot just because it gets it more visibility. And people some more credibility as well. I'm also on YouTube under Secuminary, SECUMINARY. I basically just have it run on both streams right now, and you can watch VODs there permanently, whereas Twitch, like, they go away after a week or so. There's also a mobile version that's better for vertical on that. So you can follow me on there, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Here's a Nemesis. No fucking egg on this one. Useless. Should have banished him. Damn it. Just so used to always powering. Boom. More boots. sure. Plus 6% chance to receive a critical strike. But 82% reduced damage. That's... These are interesting. Not sure the angle, but okay. We have him now. You know what? Let's boost this bitch. Put on a Harbinger Needle. Which one don't I need? I don't think they do necrotic damage for this. That is my poison one. Necrotic, thank you. Okay. It's my first time using a needle. So we'll go fight the boss with the needle. Break it. It should give 8 of the thingy. Total, right? Because I get 3 more than 1 from this, which is 4. For those of you that don't know. And then I already have 4. Where? Oh. Did he just yell penis when he died? Pretty sure he yelled penis. Pretty sure he said penis. Alright, Fatso, come here. Don't think so. See, that's the hard part about this build is sometimes I'm like, I'm too zippy. I don't mean to go where I go. Okay, so how many Gaze of Orbis did we get from that? 5. So that means we would have gotten 2 standard, right? That's going to make the next Robus fight like pretty spicy from as far as I know. As soon as I can unlock it, which I always forget if these let me unlock it. Oh, but this is a Nemesis chain. I want that. Oh, what'd you drop? What'd you drop, Blizzard? I didn't even look at it. I gotta look at it later. I'm in my zone with the moves. Alright, we found the Nemesis. Which, these are pretty cool flavor, too. In terms of how they fit in with the story. And I like that they're there before you even know why they're there. Fits in with, like, the timeline shit. No, wait. No, I want to banish him. Or do I want to... Hold on. I don't mean to open up the help either. What is this? I don't care. What is... I don't care. I don't like that. I don't care. Let's just fight. Get some shards. Same thing as banishing them, right? Except I got the shards. Now hopefully this time he's got an egg. Piece of candy. Okay, here he is. Come on, just die. So I can do this safely. There we go. Okay. Stash. Which one's better? They're both not that good. Which 9% more damage on or move speed and attack speed. We'll just do this one. And then what we'll do is we'll corrupt all of them. Well, we'll corrupt them until I'm down to 1. That's safe. But maybe one of them gets really good. Who knows? Corruption's a pretty dope mechanic. Can make some pretty good stuff. Or it could just be like best rolls on all of them. It just automatically moves everything up. I'd take that. I'd take some nice implicits. I would prefer for it not to break the item. Although that can happen. Because that's how corrupting works. I understand the risks. I do like the maps better when I don't have to worry as much about whether or not I get 3 levels of bonus or whatever. Okay, what we get? What we get? That works. I'll take it. I mean, it's not 31%. But we still have another shot. What is this? And then we get to have some fun corrupting, so. Because I don't need the move speed ones anymore. Ah, boom. 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 Where'd he go? Okay, okay. The Harbinger. No, those suck. I don't know. What else we gotta put in here? Can I put this in here? Nope. Try Morning Frost. We could do these river bends for leveling. We could do... Work on another foot of the mountain. I think. we should do the Morning Frost and see what we get. Because maybe sometime I end up using them. They seem like they can be, in certain circumstances, decent boots. With a huge DPS increase, it looks like. A lot of utility from the freeze multiplier. But the downsides are pretty pronounced. But they do work for both the current characters I have, so... Or theoretically. That one's done. Let's get to Corrupted. Okay, so... We're only going to corrupt these boots if one of these two brick. Sorry. We're only going to corrupt these boots if one of these two don't brick and get cooldown. Or something super useful that I'm not thinking of. That's in the running for super useful that I'm not thinking of. But it does reduce the effect of haste. I thought it was an increased effect at first. Okay. Not nearly as good. Oh. Okay. I would not put these on over these in a one-to-one matchup. But does mean I'm not as afraid to corrupt these. There we go. Now we zoom in. That's some pretty good. That's pretty good. We got some decent luck on that. I'll take it. I want to get better cooldown recovery on these at some point. But all things considered, I'm happy with how that played out. No. Oh, these are take up 6? Okay. All right. I could live with that. Now, what I really need is some, like, daggers that have good exalted affixes for the 2LP one that I got of this. But I don't know if it has 13% crit strike, which is really the most important piece. Probably what I need is a 2LP Trader's Tongue with 13% crit strike. 2 decks is like what I'm looking for. Everything else I can live with or without. Melee speed clearly would be nice, but this one I need a 2LP. And after I fix my mana with other solutions, I would just put like flat damage on it or something. This is also not a great roll. Oops. Here's our Echo of the World with 9 eyeball boys. Let's see how this goes. Don't want to get hit by that. Or that. How's our health going? It's okay. So, I'm almost certain they get harder the more gazes that you use. I think I hope I use all of them there. But I know for a fact that that will boost the corruption a fuck ton. Ooh, 2 legendary potential. Those... Oh. That could be good. Why can't I... Thank you. That's a terrible roll, but... Okay. This is mostly garbage. Okay. Oh, I can put in... Is it this one? Yeah. Put that back in. Not that I do dots, but... Close to capping Necro. Right? Or am I over capped on Necrotic? Oh no, that caps me. Okay. That is not as much corruption as I was expecting. Well, I guess it usually only goes up like 20 or 30 without any gaze, or 1 gaze. I could fuck with some idols. Let's see how this build handles puts up now. Now with our new special boots. It feels good. You can tell every single time you get more cooldown, you can feel it. Sorry, I think I was clipping a little bit there. That should be much better, though. Actually, I could probably turn it down even more. Now, on my Spellblade, I would die if I did anything like that. Pretty sure. I think my Spellblade's only at like 340 corruption. But if I did that on a 216 corruption, I'd be close to dead. He needs to constantly be attacking to not die. Now, the one thing I'm not sure about is if anything special happens after you beat Abberoth. Like if you get any special modifiers that accelerate your gameplay at all, which if is the case, I'll be upset that I'm not trying to do that ASAP. But otherwise, I just see Abberoth as kind of like, oh, he's the boss, I'll beat him when I feel ready. I could probably do it now, but I want more cooldown reduction. Is it gonna be it? Oh no, it's not gonna be. I guess you can get Immortal Vice from him and the other like cool rogue thingy or other cool relic thingy, but I think that has to be Uber Abberoth, and I don't know how to make him Uber, so because you can't witness him with Maven. Which I've wanted a dog for a long time. And okay, actually, let me take a step back. So in PoE 1, I have a build that I play with a friend that I'm an Aurabot, and I just follow him around. And I use the Maven skin. Because in campaign, if you're not familiar with PoE, or in maps, you have to have Maven witness your fights in order to progress the game. Because she thinks it's fun or something. And she fucks with you the whole time that you're fighting. She'll say things like, resist entropy, and then like throw shit at you. So what I do when I'm supporting my friend as an Aurabot is I wear that skin and then I say those lines, which is hilarious to me because I'm basically being Maven for him, but supporting him. But now anytime I have something following me, I feel like it's Maven. And I'm going to, if I ever get a dog, which I will almost definitely get a dog because I love dogs. I just, for some reason, have not convinced myself to get one. If I do, I've decided I'm going to name it Maven. Because dope name, and it'll just be following me around. I think it's fucking hilarious and cool.
Oblivion waits.
As I also think this is the dopest shit ever. The snake on the edges of this map is so cool to me. It's the second biggest snake I've ever seen in my life. And I've only seen 2. With that snake being one of them. I don't know if I'm hoping that there's people here to hear those jokes, or if I'm hoping that there isn't. I'm just really not sure how I feel about that. That's definitely something I think is funny if I say it in my head. Is it something to put on the internet, though? I think only Al Gore can answer that. And if you get that joke, you're a real one. I'm not expecting you to laugh at it even if you get that one. I'll fight him, whatever. Is it, bud? Yes, you are. Wait, I feel like I got something that was important. Was it this? Yes. Yes, that's pretty good. Okay. One day I will have enough resistances that I can put those on. But right now, my idols are dedicated to resistances. Oh, it only uses 4 Gaze of Oribus at a time? I can't just like fucking stack that shit up? That's some bullshit. Although I guess that would be a really spicy shade of Oribus.
Witness.
We're gonna see what's like if I clear a map while holding all 3 of these buttons down with Dancing Strike. Okay, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Nope. Nope. There's just some control issues when you do that. I'm not, my mouse is not pointing that way. My game controller. It's not pointing that way. I don't know. I think they just keep going the way that you were going if you Dancing Strike. So maybe you just hold those 2. Hope you don't run out of mana. And then Dancing Strike as you see fit. Like little weeds in. We are leveling hella fast. This is like a little bit wild to me. I mean, I'm sure this is standard for people that have played this game, but what did we get on those boots? Anything good? It's a resistance. Where am I hearing music from?
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk to the
Very
fence.
funny.
I randomly had a stream come on. That's interesting. And he was talking about boots. We're on the same wavelength, friend. What else we got? Now my question is, do I need more music? Do I need this to be more hypey? I'm not an energy guy. I don't bring the energy. I bring the puns. I bring the dad jokes. I got some game knowledge. I could talk. I've got some world knowledge, ostensibly. You know, I could talk about a lot of different things. What I can't do is, I am not the person that you want on the aux at the party. I'll put it that way. You do not want me. You may not want me at the party. In general, unless that party involves Excel spreadsheets. Or dad jokes. Or any combination of those two things. You may not want me there. Personal preference, I think, for sure. But what's not a personal preference is the music that I would play on the aux would not be party music. That no one would prefer that. So I'm not the party guy. In fact, when I was managing a team at one point in a previous life, I had someone make a fun committee because I couldn't figure out how to make things fun. I mean, it's work. It was kind of bullshit that they wanted it to be fun. I mean, you want it to be fun, right? Like, you want to do what you can. But it was like, come on, guys. Look, what are we really gonna do? What are we going to do that's going to make the 7 a.m. fucking data meeting fun? What are we gonna do? If you don't already think that's fun, because I did. I thought it was fun. If that's not you, you're not going to think it's fun. There's nothing that you can do that will change whether or not you think that meeting is fun. I don't care what icebreaker you do. I don't care. It's 7 a.m. and it's data. And at a tough company, too. So we were unsuccessful in making it fun. But, point being, even if it was possible, I would not be the person to do it. Okay, we don't really care about the Nemesis right now. Because we don't have any freaking boots. I mean, we got some pretty decent boots from it, but... So there's not even a... Like, I don't even have... Wait. That was an experience one? No, that was a boots one. That's another boots one. Okay. There's not even a point in fighting the boss again, right? Like, I can, but I shouldn't put a Harbinger needle on because I can't even use all of it. That really only makes sense when I'm, like, starting a new timeline. Or I don't have enough Orbisize. But even then, it's like, am I going to be able to handle a fucking boost in corruption that high and then do it again? That I need more of them? I don't know. That sounds unlikely. That seems like a very high level item to be using. And maybe I'm just playing like a pussy. Maybe I should have already beaten Uber Abberoth. I don't know. But to me, I'm like, you know what? When I'm level 100, I'll beat Uber Abberoth. I'll hold myself to having to beat Uber Abberoth. I'll put it that way. Right now, I feel like level 90, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be in corrupted timelines. When I'm level 95, I feel like right around then I should probably fucking beat Abberoth. Or else I'm a little bitch. We'll do the boss. Why not? You know, this view's pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job with the setup. Look at that. Got the guitar that I don't play. But it looks good. Oh, this is boss fight. Just pay attention. I truly believe that the way to stream, the effective way to stream, and I'm testing it, and it seems to work when people are in the channel, which is not common whatsoever. But people seem to like it when I'm just like, I have fucking severe ADHD and it's not medicated currently. And I just like do that. I embody that vibe. Seems to be what people like. Anything less and it's like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know. What's the point of even streaming? You're just not talking, right? I think it gets easier as you get higher up, or like come up with like things that you're doing, like little events and shit, which I will eventually do, and I'm kind of doing, right, with the way I do the playthroughs and stuff like that. But like, you can't. The event doesn't go the whole time that you're talking. It doesn't stay hypey the whole time, right? So you gotta just ramble at some point. What is this? Don't care. What's this? Oh, not one of those. Right? But like that's necessary for streaming. You just gotta be able to talk about nothing to no one. Twitch staff, please confirm. If I'm correct, don't message me directly right now on my personal phone. They didn't message me. Now I'm gonna be kind of paranoid every time I get a text in like 2 days. You see the video. Luckily, how could they care? With my one viewer who potentially is not a bot. Notice I didn't say it's potentially a bot. I think that's too gratuitous. Oh, is this a Nemesis encounter one? Here's a fun story. One time at work, and this I brought this up because of the word gratuitous. I don't mean to use big words. They just happen. I can't think of other words that fit in the spot, so I say the big word. That's usually like I'm trying to come up with something else, and I can't. So then it just fucking 10-point word comes out. Where is this Nemesis? Oh. I used to have to run a lot of meetings, and I got feedback from one of the bigwigs one time that I needed to you know, make sure everyone can understand what I'm talking about. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand like what, because like it's feedback and I was hearing it, but like I don't know how to implement this because I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, the vocabulary that you use, and I was like, I try to keep that dialed back on the meetings. Can you, like, I don't know how I can improve that. If you, like, I don't think I said anything that, what? There we go. I don't think I said anything that I would consider to be like a big word or anything. So I, like, could you tell me what it was so I can correct it in the future? Oh, Nick, you know where it is. Don't play dumb. I was like, well, okay, but I actually don't know. I didn't think I said anything, and I'm not gonna be able to fix it if you don't tell me what the word was. I don't want to say it. Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you then, boss. He gets 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. It was consequential. I was like, really? Consequential? I can't say consequential? People don't know what the word consequential means? It's like 4 letters away from consequence. Who doesn't know what consequential means that has a real job? Who? I don't know if this guy was telling me because he didn't know what it meant, or because he was like, wow, that was a big ass word, I don't want to fuck with that. I remember one of the first jobs I ever had, this motherfucker was talking about safety protocol, and he was like, we live in a very litigious society. That's a word you don't hear all the time. I could see giving feedback to that guy and be like, hey, can you come up with a different word? This is also to like blue collar workers on a factory floor who mostly don't have all their teeth, right? Nothing wrong with them. Really cool guys. They're friends of my family and stuff like that too. So it's like they wouldn't care I said that, but that's they don't fucking know what litigious means. None of them are gonna ask. They don't give a shit. That I could see giving feedback, being like, hey, maybe say like, we live in a society that's very quick to go to legal tools and press charges for things in any scenario. Maybe even don't say scenario. But consequential. Consequential. I had to talk to these people about fucking like state laws. They had to know all of them, and like obviously federal laws, and they had to be able to follow along with data. And I was talking about not just like, we did 30 calls today. It was like, here's the regression curve if we progress on this path. Like, consequential. I think if there was anyone that didn't understand consequential, I think that should be an interview thing. You use the word consequential and then you say, was that a big word to you? And if they go, yeah, you go, have a nice day. We'll reach out. No, we won't. Also, this person that gave me this feedback, really liked him. I thought he was a great guy. I think he was a good manager, all this stuff too. Nothing against him. I have a feeling he was coached to say this in some way or another. So I have no problem with him. He's a cool guy. It reminds me of, if you've ever seen, what's the show on Apple? Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. What's the show called? They work in the cubicles and they gotta find the words. I want to say Insomnia. It's not Insomnia. If anyone's here, please help me. I can't think of the name. I have to look it up. Apple TV shows popular. Severance. I think it's Severance. When they give feedback to the guy about the paper clips, manager, they give him the feedback about the paper clips. That's pretty ridiculous. And then they give him feedback again about like his language. and how he can't talk that way. And he just like goes off on him with really big words. It makes me think that other people have had very similar experiences to me. But also, it's just funny. Because the corporations do, you know, I understand why.
Around you.
They do crack down on some interesting stuff, just as like they have to, right? They have to keep it kosher for everybody for many reasons that we will not get into on this stream. But you know, they have to do it. So I get it, but there is definitely an element of like, hey, that's a form of personal expression and we need to crack down on it. See, the crack. Omen knows. He knows what's up. He's seen me die. Where at? Oh, I already did it. Let's go to this one. I would really like to get another Shade of Orbis going. Pump this timeline up some more. Where's our nemesis at? Doesn't fit. Do I care about it? Nope. What else can I talk about? I'm only going to do this for another... If I can do this for another 3 minutes, I've hit my 2 hours that I promised myself and everybody, so... Then I can shut the fuck up. My throat does get a little raw doing this. Oh god. Okay, we're good. You know, I'm not gonna make myself stream for more than 2 hours. There's no one here. That'd be stupid. I mean, yeah, I give up the chances of someone else joining in, but if I went 2 hours, like, come on. Come on now. Did that say minus 10 elemental resistances? No, plus 10. That's okay. Could have been better, but it's not. I'm just gonna sell these. Ooh, I do like Winds of Shattering. And dice. Yeah. I don't know what Symbols of Hope is, so
Take care.
we'll get rid of that. We'll put this back in here. One day we will upgrade this. One day. Maybe tonight. Off stream. Maybe I'll kill Abberoth and upgrade these tonight off stream. The belt. Let's see where we end up tomorrow. What we got on this? Shatter. Let's see. Shatter. Ooh, 52% increased damage of skills used by shadows. Could be good. Maybe we keep this and upgrade it. Just go through this way. And upgrade it. Wait, is it good? kind of good. For a duel. Ew. We definitely want to keep these. I'm gonna call this Dance, because it's dance too. I'm gonna shut up now. If anyone comes in here and wants to talk, you gotta talk. And I will respond. I also just got 5 emails. This could be good for a transfer. I wish it was tier 7 something else. Ooh, I have ice cream. I just remembered. Probably go third stream off. Go get ice cream. I'm third in the stream off and go to get